Where do you think we are right now in the commodity cycle? Are we still in early innings? Is there still a lot of room to run here, or what?
Well, as I said before, I mean, silver, I own silver, is down 60% from its all-time high. I mean, Adam, look out the window. How much, what do we know that's down 60% from its all-time high? Very little. Sugar's down 70% from its all-time high. So in my view, and all of this money printing historically has led to higher prices for real goods. So in my view, we have a long way to go. The all-time high on silver is $50 an ounce. Now it's 23. So why can't silver go back to its all-time high? That's the way markets usually work. Eventually, things go back to where they were once upon a time. So I would suspect that we still have plenty of room to make money in commodities, especially agricultural commodities, going forward. Who knows? I don't know, but if you want to protect yourself, that's one way. I am protecting myself. I hope I'm getting it right. Agriculture is cheap, and many commodities are still cheap. Now, copper is making all-time highs. That's because it looks as though the world is going to become electrical cars, trucks, and everything else. Well, it turns out that an electric car uses several times as much copper as a combustion engineering car. So there's going to be huge demand for some of these metals that we didn't have before. And yes, it's at all-time highs now, but electric cars are just getting started. A lot of things are just getting started.
All right, great. So sounds like you're basically saying we're still relatively early on in the commodity cycle as you're looking at the world, right? I mean, obviously the biggest bear market in history will probably depress demand for a whole bunch of things, probably everything to a certain extent, but until we get there.
Well, silver's already down 60% from its all-time high. Now it's up a lot in the last year, as you point out. Commodities have started moving, and in bear markets for a while anyway, everything goes down, no matter how wonderful it is. But that doesn't mean you should rush out and buy silver today, because it could get killed too in a bear market for a while. But I would suspect that you ask how to protect yourself. I would suggest that real assets, partly because they are still the only cheap asset, is a better place to be.
Okay, makes a ton of sense. One question people often ask is there any benefit one way or the other owning the actual hard asset itself, either in physical form, like your silver coin, or futures or whatnot, or owning the producers, the companies that actually, mine, grow, extract these things?
If you know what you're doing and you can trade futures, please do it. But you're going to get very rich very fast. You might go broke this afternoon too, if you don't know what you're doing. Or if you know a company that's going to find silver in Berlin, you should buy all you can. And then please call me, because I want to buy it. Because obviously the companies give you great leverage. That's another great way to make money in a bull market. But you remember Mark Twain? Mark Twain once said, listen, a gold mine is a hole in the ground with a liar standing at the top.
Yeah.
He obviously lost a lot of money in a gold mine. My point is, there are hundreds of silver mines. If you know the right one, of course, you'll make huge amounts of money. But otherwise, I mean, physicals are a good way to play too. Futures, companies, if you know what you're doing, but there are many ways to play. But please don't do it if you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly. That said, people are curious to hear your thoughts on this. Oil.
Yep, I own oil. I'm even contemplating buying more right now. When you say oil, I presume you mean hydrocarbons, oil, natural gas,
yes,
things.
Yes.
Yeah. I own it, and I plan to buy more. Oil is down over 50% from its all-time high, and known reserves continue to decline. They've been declining for a long time. Then along came fracking, Well, we had a wonderful bubble in fracking. If you could spell fracking, people would write you a check, say, please, please invest, invest. Well, then we all found out, oh, wait a minute, they got to pay their bills. They got to make money. So fracking is not going to disappear, but the bubble is over. And in the meantime, known reserves of energy everywhere in the world are in decline and have been continuing to decline. So yes, we're all going to have electric cars someday, apparently. Yes, we're all going to have solar panels. If we have electric cars, I've got some silver. I've got solar panels. I've got some silver. There are other ways to protect yourself. I do own that hydrocar, oil and gas. Actually, I own coal too. I own oil, natural gas, and coal.
Next commodity, Jim, is farmland. You've mentioned a number of agricultural commodities. One would presume you're probably a fan of farmland at this point in the story, but I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, I certainly am. I'm not going to become a farmer, but if you like going out in the sun and being in the dirt, it'd be a fabulous way to make a living and get rich because, you know, Adam, the average age of farmers in America is now 58. In Japan, it's 66. I can go on, and the highest rate of suicide in the UK is in agriculture. Many Indian farmers have committed suicide. More people in America study public relations than study agriculture. We're running out, there's less and less competition. Unless we're going to stop wearing clothes and eating food, agriculture is going to get better. And I would expect farmers, as I say, if you really, really love it, go out there and buy yourself a farm and you'll get very, very, very rich. If not, buy futures, figure out your own way to do it. I own the ETF is the way I do it, but there are many ways to do it.
All right, and then the last question on the commodities here, Jim. No surprise, it was the precious metals, gold and silver. You've already mentioned them several times. So I guess anything else that you think is important for folks to know about them that you haven't said already?
Well, we mentioned metals, we mentioned energy, we've mentioned agriculture. That pretty much covers the block, doesn't it?
All right, good. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, so look, in landing the plane here.
Do not wait. I just want to say, do not invest unless you. If you're going to invest, please start with ETFs because that is a lot. Many studies have shown that the average of investing in the indexes outperforms nearly all investors. So unless you know a lot about cotton or whatever it is, please start with ETFs.